Ryan Smith, and we're talking yet again about what the Bible teaches about government. Last week we were talking about, last couple of weeks we've been talking about what God established for Israel as a nation as they were coming out of the land of Egypt in slavery. They didn't have any government. God was establishing the kind of government they ought to have. This week I want to talk about Romans 13, which is probably one of the most famous and important verses or sections on government in the New Testament. And it's about how Christians ought to interact with their government. And this is what it says, starting in verse 1. Let everyone be subject to the governing authorities, for there is no authority except that which God has established. The authority that exists have been created by God, or established by God, sorry. Verse 2, consequently, whoever rebels against the authority is rebelling against that which God has instituted, and those who do so will bring judgment on themselves. For rulers hold no terror for those who do right, but for those who do wrong. Do you want to be free from the fear of the one in authority? Then do what is right, and you will be commended. Verse 4, for the one in authority is God's servant for your good. But if you do wrong, be afraid, for rulers do not bear the sword for no reason. They are God's servants, again, God's servants, agents of wrath to bring punishment on the wrongdoer. Therefore, it is necessary to submit to the authorities, not only because of possible punishment, but also as a matter of conscience. Now, I have a friend who, his name is Manuel, he's from Germany. And in Germany, all public schools have religious training. And during his religious training, his teacher basically, who was not a Christian, he was in fact an atheist, said this section of the Bible is one reason why he was an atheist. He says, this section of the Bible teaches that God raised up Hitler to rule Germany. And if that was the kind of thing God did, that he didn't want to have anything to do with him, which I think is actually a reasonable way of looking at things. Does this section of the Bible teach that God raised up Hitler to rule Germany? Think about that. Is that what this is saying? Because if that is what this is saying, we've got to deal with that somehow. I would say, no, that's not what this is saying. I would say that what this section of the Bible is teaching is that God established authority. God has all authority. Any authority that he has given over to human beings is delegated authority. He delegated authority to human beings. He delegated governmental authority to human beings. We saw that in the very first lesson. He did that in Genesis 9:6. But all delegated authority is limited authority. Let me say that again because it's a super important point. Delegated authority is limited authority. I'll give you just an everyday example of this. Say some family with 6 children hires you to be their babysitter. They're going to go out, have dinner, go to a movie, have a parent date. It's nice. They hire you to watch their 6 kids, and they tell you the 3 youngest have to be in bed by 8, the 3 oldest have to be in bed by 9. They are allowed to watch this much TV and not this much TV. They can have this for a snack, but not that for a snack. So they have delegated authority to you. You have authority over those children. You can make the 3 youngest go to bed at 8. You can make the 3 oldest go to bed at 9. You can ensure that the snack they have is within the paradigm set by their parents. You can make sure that the TV they watch is within the boundaries set by their parents. You do not have authority to take those kids to Disney World. That's not part of your authority because they have delegated authority to you, therefore it's limited authority. Does this make sense? Think about it. There are all kinds of examples of this where somebody gives you authority over a situation, but it's within boundaries. That is the same as the governmental authority God has delegated to human beings. We already saw from Genesis 9:6 that the purpose of delegating the authority was to protect the value of human life. So anything that violates the value of human life is not going to be authority established by God. It's going to be a usurpation of God's authority in a very wrong way. And Paul also teaches this here in Romans 13. That's what we're going to look at next week. But remember, delegated authority is limited authority. Any authority God gives is within the boundaries that he gave it.
Thank you for watching this week's special edition of Activist Academy Weekly. Don't forget to check us out on our website, www.activistacademyweekly.com. to get the latest information on blog updates, as well as taking advantage of our free academic resources, as well as our free community organizing trainings and biblically based trainings, and of course our unique and dynamic social networking tools that are specially tailored for Christian community activists such as yourself. Well, until next week, this is Keelan Blackwell wishing you a good day and good night.